Breathtaking views and polar bear sightings. A safari-like experience that will get you inches away from these majestic animals in Canada's north. Joining us today is Kate Collins, lead scientist with Gold Star Canadian Tours, to tell us about this experience of a lifetime. Good morning to you, Kate.
Hi, good morning, Rosie.
Good morning, Kate. This is incredible. Where does this tour take place exactly?
Yeah, so this tour takes place up in Churchill, Manitoba. And the reason it's up there is Churchill is called the polar bear capital of the world. And it's because over 500 polar bears do a seasonal migration through the Churchill region in the fall. And that's really how it got its name. So in the summertime, the polar bears will come off the ice. They come to shore as the sea ice melts. And the sea ice is their platform for hunting seals. And so come fall time, they're really anxiously awaiting being able to get back out on the ice. And so in late October and early November, they congregate on the shores of Hudson Bay in Churchill as they await the return of the sea ice. And so that's why we plan these expeditions to the region at that time.
Can you walk us through what guests will experience on the one-day polar bear expedition? We're seeing some photographs of the polar bears, and it just looks, it's magnificent. They are magnificent, and I'm just wondering what it's like.
Definitely. So Churchill is pretty inaccessible. You can actually only get there by train or plane. And so we charter a jet and we depart from a private terminal here at the Ottawa airport. We have a warm breakfast on the plane. And then once we arrive in Churchill, we hop on a Tundra buggy, which you're seeing right now. And it's sort of like a bus with monster truck wheels. And they keep us well out of reach of polar bears. So we spend the day out in the Churchill Wildlife Management Area, seeing polar bears in their natural habitat. And it's really, just such an incredible moment when we see our first bears of the day. We have lunch out on the tundra while observing the bears. And then after spending the afternoon out there, we come back into the town of Churchill for some sightseeing, some souvenir shopping. And then we have a lovely evening banquet dinner in the town. We have professional photographers on the expedition. They love to take all sorts of photos throughout the day, and we share those at the banquet dinner as a really nice way to wrap up the day. And then it's back to the airport, and you're home in bed in Ottawa by the end of the evening. So it's really a whirlwind.
Wonderful, so special to capture these magnificent animals out there in the wild. Can the people who go on the tour, can they take photographs themselves, or is it just the professional photographers who can do so?
Oh, no, definitely. We see lots of photographers that come and take all of their own photos as well. But if you don't get the perfect shot, then we have you covered.
What makes polar bears so special to see in the wild?
Yeah, so it's really like nothing else being able to see them in their natural habitat. And my favorite part is some of the behaviors that we see at this time of year is we'll see males sparring. You can see that on screen right now.
Yeah.
They're really play fighting. They're testing their strength to see how they'll fare come mating season. You'll also see cubs that are mimicking mom's every move as they learn how to survive in this really harsh Arctic environment. So I just love the hush, the awe, and the excited whispers and the flurry of photos when we spot our first bears of the day. And one of my favorite parts of the expedition is that not only do our guests get to see the polar bears in the wild, but they also get to learn so much about them as well. So I do an in-flight lecture on polar bears and their adaptations. And then once there, our Tundra buggy drivers are incredibly knowledgeable, and they teach us all about polar bears as well as the other incredible flora and fauna that are found on the subarctic tundra.
Kate, we don't have much time, just a couple of seconds left. When's the next polar bear exhibition departure?
Yeah, the window is short in the fall, so our departures are November 9th and November 11th. And yeah, folks can head to goldstarcanada.com to book a seat on one of these incredible expeditions.
It looks just magnificent. Thank you so much, Kate Collins with Gold Star Canadian Tours. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.